Hello and welcome to Megan's Minute. I'm your host, Megan Lavin, owner of AllergyAwesomeness.com, my food allergy recipe site, and together with Allergic Living, we discuss topics that affect those with food allergies. This month, I'm talking about eating out with multiple food allergies. Before we get to the logistics, let's discuss why and how often my family actually goes out to eat. With 2 kids with multiple food allergies, I recognize that ordering food from outside of my own home is a risk. No matter how much research I do and how carefully I order, I'm still trusting a stranger to prepare food for my children. This is partly why we don't eat out very often. Not only does it save us money, it's just safer. We eat out for birthdays, when we're traveling, and every once in a while for a special occasion. But even with that risk, I do still feel it is worth it. And trust me, we haven't burned. My son totally had anaphylaxis from a very trusted restaurant one time. And yet I still advocate for eating out. Life has risks, and I think it's worth it to meet those head on and still try to have a normal life rather than living in a bubble. And that's why we always take our EpiPens with us everywhere we go. Besides, eating out is fun, it's social, and it's a skill that I want my kids to have for when they get older, which means I need to be preparing them now. I like them to be able to see me order and for them to hear and for me to be able to model how I explain allergies to the server and the need to avoid cross contact. They're still young, but when they're learning, they will know when they're for themselves when they get older. I know there are many allergy families who just simply don't dine out away from home, but I would urge you to try it. Even having just one place to trust now and then, and that's how we started. We just only have one place we ever dare go to, can make a difference in your quality of life. I am a cooker. I love to cook, and even though I do, it still is so easy to become burnt out day in, day out. So really for my own sanity, it's so nice to take a break from the kitchen every once in a while. I look forward to eating out for things like my birthday because it means I am not in charge of dinner for the night. Everyone needs a break here and there. That means no planning, no prep, and no cleanup. It's so nice. Now, let's move on to how my family eats out. I almost always try to go somewhere another allergy family has given me a recommendation on. I do not like to go in blind. I'm not comfortable with that. This can easily be done because there are so many Facebook pages for eating out with food allergies. Google it, check it. People often ask something like, I'm eating out in such and such city with these food allergies. And almost always the food allergy support group members will weigh in with their recommendations. You can look up past posts as well. That always gives me peace of mind to know that someone else with food allergies has safely eaten there. Then, thanks to the internet, there's almost always an app or a website for restaurants that will give the list of ingredients. And honestly, if they don't, we usually won't go there. I like to have that knowledge. I also take the time beforehand, not when we're there and everyone's hangry, to figure out what is safe for my sons. This usually includes calling and talking to the manager ahead of time. So plan, you'll be good. Another tip that can help is not going at the peak busy hours. Go a little bit earlier or a little bit later so that way the wait staff in the kitchen just aren't slammed and don't have time to pay close attention. Then once we're seated, I'll tell my server, my son has a severe food allergy. Are you comfortable with me ordering his special order with you, or can I order with your manager? Or if the waiter seems new or maybe not attentive, I'll just skip it and say, my son has a severe food allergy. I'd like to place the order with your manager, please. Managers are more familiar. They've usually been better trained and are likely to have been at the establishment longer than waitstaff that comes and goes. This also shows the staff that you mean business and that you are taking your allergies seriously so they can too. When the manager comes, I tell them again, my son has a severe food allergy. I'm not afraid to use that word. I stress this word because people have watered down, unfortunately, what an allergy means. People use this term to mean an intolerance or something they don't like. So I want them to understand that not getting this order right will have serious health repercussions. Then I like to tell them what we'd like to order for him. I either do it the first order or the last, so it's not jumbled together, and what exactly his allergies are. I'll say, is that doable? And then you can ask, did I miss anything? Or is there anything I need to know with this order that might not be known when I was looking at it beforehand? And sometimes they'll have knowledge of kitchen practices you weren't aware of that might need to change your order or maybe confirm it and make you feel good about your choice. it's important to ask if there's a dedicated fryer. That's restaurant speak for things like if you're ordering French fries or anything fried, because my sons get fries every chance they can. This means that they have a deep fryer dedicated or just for French fries. That means their fryer isn't shared with other battered things like chicken nuggets or fish sticks that could potentially have wheat, egg, and fish allergens. Many people forget to ask this, and it can definitely affect cross contact. You can even ask the staff how they handle cross contact and what their safety procedures are that they have in place. Many restaurants will do things like change into fresh gloves, use special pots and pans set aside for food allergy orders, and other things. And don't be afraid to ask for clarification. I've totally had to go back and forth sometimes or ask them, can I just see that bottle or that container for me to check the label? It's super hard for me to do. I hate feeling like I'm rocking the boat and I have this inner fear that I'm going to be seen as a pain. But you know what? How they view me and choose is their choice. But at the end of the day, my kids' safety is totally worth it. So we have to push ourselves outside of that comfort zone. If you're going to a place that has an option of a drive-through, I find that ordering in person, face-to-face, helps there be less communication issues. That one time I mentioned where my son had anaphylaxis at this safe restaurant, it's because it was at the beginning of COVID and they weren't letting people come in the restaurant. So I thought, I can go through the drive-thru and order very carefully. And even though I was so careful, I don't think they heard me right. And that's where the error occurred. Most places we have gone to have been very accommodating. We've been pleasantly surprised many times. There was one time where the restaurant was honest and they said, we don't think we can safely make your order. And we had to leave. We had to go find somewhere new. It was a huge bummer. But thankfully that's only happened once. And again, checking in advance will reduce the odds of this. This was when we were traveling one time. Many restaurants will flag the order with allergens in their computer system, or many times the manager has said that they'll personally supervise it to make sure that it's done properly. Good communication can really solve most issues. I make sure to be extra friendly and kind. You can be firm without being overbearing. Remember, we're setting a precedent for all future food allergy customers. Leave that good impression for the next food allergy customer. Even tipping well and thanking them at the end of the meal goes a long way. And if I'm honest, I still feel nervous for the first few bites every time we go. And I'm a veteran at this, so it's okay if you feel a little nervous too. But I try to not let it show. I don't want any of my nervousness to rub off on my boys with the food allergies. Because what I model, they're gonna pick up on, right? So I want them to just be able to go out and enjoy a carefree meal and have a nice time. To help get you started, here are some of the restaurants that we've been to and eaten at safely. Keep in mind that we live on the West Coast and not all of these are national chains, but if you come out to the West Coast, maybe it will help you then. Also, always do your own research as everyone's allergens are different, plus menu items can change. In no particular order, there's Red Robin, Chick-fil-A, Costa Vida, Maggiano's, Cheesecake Factory, In-N-Out, and Dickey's Barbecue. I hope this helps give you confidence to eat out safely as well. Allergic Living has tons of articles and helpful tips on their site too. It's the best resource for things eating out. They really have covered it so well, and personally, I learn from them and I turn to them when I need to look something up too. Remember, you can watch past episodes of Megan's Minute on Allergic Living's YouTube or Instagram IGTV. Past episode topics include finding a babysitter, working with schools, safe trick-or-treating, and dealing with food, family gatherings, and more. Take care, and we'll see you next time.